Journaling sometimes make you frustrated. You sit down, you open the page and nothing comes to you. It's not that you have nothing in your life, it's that you don't know where to enter it from. You don't have a direction. Because writing doesn't just need thoughts, it needs a starting point. And most days, that's the part that's missing. So you wait, you scroll, you delay it, you tell yourself you'll write when something clearer shows up. But here's something you might not have noticed. You've already been given a starting point. It just didn't come from you. It came from something you read, a sentence that stayed with you longer than it should have, not necessarily dramatic, not something you highlighted or saved, just something that didn't leave. Maybe it was a line from a novel you read days ago or something small you came across in passing. You didn't think much of it at the time, but it kept returning. And that's the best part. Most people ignore. They treat it as something to remember, not something to respond to. But that sentence is doing something. It's creating a quiet opening for you. It stayed for a reason. It was not just well written, but because it touched something in you that was already there. And if you use that as your starting point, writing becomes easier in a way that feels almost unexpected. You don't have to search for what to say, you don't have to force a topic, you just begin there. You can write the sentence at the top of your page exactly as you remember it, or even roughly if you don't recall it perfectly. And when ask yourself, why don't I forget this? There doesn't have to be an analytical answer. Just be honest with yourself. At first, your answer might feel unclear. You might say something like, I don't know, it just felt true. But if you stay with it, something begins to unfold. You will start noticing where it connects a memory, a feeling, a thought you've been avoiding putting into words, and suddenly you're no longer starting at a blank page. You're in the middle of something. That's what makes this kind of writing different. You're not starting from emptiness, you're starting from resonance, and resonance is always more reliable than motivation because it's already active, already moving inside you. Over time, this becomes a way of writing that you can return to again and again. You don't need to wait for the right mood, you don't need to feel particularly reflective, you just need to notice what you have. And trust that it stayed for a reason. Some days it might lead to something clear, other days it might not go very far. But even then, the page won't feel empty because you entered it through something that already had meaning, even if you didn't fully understand it yet. If you think about it, most of the thoughts that matter to you don't appear out of nowhere. They are responses to something you read, something you heard, something that caught your attention for a second longer than usual. So instead of waiting for your own thoughts to become clear, you can begin with what has already moved you and let your writing grow from there. Don't ask yourself, what should I write about today? Ask, what is a sentence that has stayed with me and what is it trying to show me about myself? You don't have to give perfect answers. Just take a page and start with that one line and follow where it leads. Because sometimes one sentence is enough to open a part of your thinking you wouldn't have reached on your own. And once you experience that, you stop fearing the blank page because you realize you're never really starting from nothing.